I was at the Juneteenth event last night, and President Biden has touted the Inflation Reduction Act and lowering drug prices. But listen to how the event's host, comedian Roy Wood Jr., talked about that achievement.
We have legislation now for cheaper prescription drugs because of this administration. Insulin is down to $35 if you're a senior. And I don't know if anybody here has paid for insulin before, but that is like the bottle service of prescription drugs. So we appreciate that $35 right there.
Congressman Clyburn, I love the relatability Roy Wood Jr. used to break it down. It's funny, but it's telling a policy success story. Does the campaign need to do more of that?
Well, thank you very much for having me, John. Absolutely. We've got to get this out there. This administration has a record that is unequaled, cannot even be imagined by a lot of people who thought about these kinds of things as we went into the last election. This administration, with its rescue plan, has brought young children out of poverty. With its infrastructure bill, is put in $65 billion for internet when we had no money for infrastructure in the previous administration. Its Chip and Science Act, its PAC Act, it is Inflation Reduction Act. All of these things people said could not be done. Joe Biden did them. And I get a little irritated when I hear people telling me, well, he isn't talking loud enough. He isn't showing the kind of energy we want. We are about substance, not style. That is what will move this country forward. That is what will leave for our children and grandchildren a country to be proud of. Real substance. You can talk loud, you can misrepresent, you can prance around, but the question is, what are you doing? You know, I grew up in a parsonage, and I used to listen to my dad's sermons. And one of the things I learned early, it is their deeds that make them, not their words. And if you get caught up on the words and don't pay any attention to the deeds, you might believe in Donald Trump. But if you're all about deeds, you will be supporting this president, this administration, Biden and Harris.
Well, let's talk about some more deeds, Congressman Clyburn, because today the Biden administration announced that medical debt can no longer be considered in credit scores. And President Biden has made debt elimination one of his main pitches on the campaign, but new polling shows Americans are split on student loan forgiveness. 3 in 10 adults approve, while 4 in 10 disapprove. How concerned are you about those polling numbers we see on the screen right there?
I think it is because people have misrepresented this whole thing about student loan debt elimination. Joe Biden, if you look at the program, he made it very clear. We are talking about eliminating this compounded interest and all these things that have accumulated beyond what the original debt was. I've got a constituent, not a black constituent, a constituent in North Charleston who wrote a letter to the president with a copy to me. His original loan was $60,000. Over the years, he has paid back nearly $200,000 because of compounded interest and paying for it for more than 20 years and still owed money. So when he eliminated that debt, it was on the compounded interest, not the original loan. And people need to look at that. When I hear Romney, Senator Romney saying that this is a bad deal, how can it be a bad deal? The principal was paid back a long time ago. These people are paying compounded interest that has been put out there by people who are making money when the original principal was paid back a long time ago. So that's what's going on here. So nobody is paying anybody's debt. They paid off the debt. It's the compounding interest that people are collecting, and that's putting people in the poorhouse, as we say down south.
Congressman, let me get you on one more thing before we have to go in a couple minutes. Let's talk about comments that Entertainment 50 Cent made while on Capitol Hill last week. Listen to this.
What do you see as the significance of African-American men in this election for both of you?
I see them identifying with Trump.
Why do you say that?
Because they got RICO charges.
Congressman Clyburn, your reaction, black men are moving to Trump because they've got RICO charges?
Look, he should have been with me last Saturday night at this South Carolina NAACP Freedom Fund dinner. 100% support for Joe Biden. Not one single person in there, male or female, for Donald Trump. He should have been with me at Greater Target Memorial AME Church on Sunday morning. 100% for Joe Biden. Not a single person there for Donald Trump. I don't know where 50 Cent is hanging out, but I hang out with the NAACP. I hang out with the black community, black faith community, and I don't see any support for Donald Trump. These people aren't worried about RICO statutes. They're worried about their children's student loan debt. They're worried about the cost of insulin when it comes to their health care. They're worried about affordable housing. They're worried about broadband deployment. That's what they're getting from this president, and they aren't thinking about whatever it is that 50 Cent is talking about in RICO statutes. The RICO statutes down in Georgia, that is what Donald Trump violated. And so we are upset because he is being called to account for violating the RICO statutes. Come on, 50 Cent. That's worth $1 to know better.